There's no countdown. Guys, this is Shutter from the Uncensored Arsenal blog. And I have as my guest here in today's podcast, Ehab, our former scout, and
Agent.
agent, and all that good stuff. And the most knowledgeable and most opinionated football fan, Arsenal fan in the world, Blackburn George of the Positively Arsenal blog. Guys, good morning. I just woke up and I have the time wrong thanks to the Google. Back home, Atlantic Standard Time told me that I will be on in another hour, only for George to call me and say, "Shut up, where the ass are you?" Guys, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we are previewing Arsenal Southampton. And of course, this is being the most popular live stream in the world. I don't see anybody on yet. But just for the benefit of those who don't know, I do it this way because I just hit the tape and roll, I post it, and I just head on off to work. So your criticisms are all accepted. Thank you. Guys, tomorrow we play Southampton. After two losses directly, and it's looked like the entire world is coming down. Go
Yeah.
online. All the people who who always told us that we should trust the process, that we shouldn't look on underlying metrics, are now reeling out stats after stats to show that Arteta's attacking is horrible. Ehab, you never
hmm
had a chance to say anything about this performance, Manchester United and Everton.
Oh.
How is Arteta doing? How
Oh my
is
God.
the loss to Everton? Did it come as a surprise to you in particular?
Everton, the performance was a surprise. I never expected us to be this bad. It was horrible, man. This is a team that's falling apart. This is a team where they're like their third or fourth manager in 2 years, which is
Yes.
there was the first one was the Portuguese guy, I forget his name. Then there was Ancelotti, who just
Ancelotti, yes.
who just went to Real Madrid, and now there's Rafa Benitez. This all happened in 2 years, and they're falling apart. The best player went to Qatar. They haven't been able to find the right squad yet. They're in a worse place than us, and they're struggling. They've lost every game that matters, and we go there. We've always done good at Everton. It's the team that we've scored most goals against in the Premier League era. And we go there and we just don't even create anything. It could have easily been 4 or 5-1. And they are a shit team. They haven't created much, but they've had two goals disallowed because a couple of inches.
Yes.
If VAR was not there, those goals would have stood,
Oh, yes.
especially with Mike Dean in charge. And they had a chance in the 92nd minute where Ayobi just was 1-on-1 with Ramsdale, and Ramsdale made a great save, and that would have easily gone in. He scored the
Yes, but
same
Ehab,
goal. Yeah,
Arteta said we had four grand chances. We're not going to do the review here, but
this has to
he said we
this
had
has to
four
be
chances
known.
to execute. I suppose he's counting um Aubameyang's miss in the 92nd minute. But
Yeah, yeah,
but
that was
how
a
bad was
problem.
it? Really, this is what you saying. It's bad. You talk about how bad Everton was. How bad were we? I it,
We were we were really bad. I mean, I don't want to go back to the game, but the thing that bothers me the most, I watched Arsene Wenger's documentary like 4 days ago, and he was talking about that day in the Martin Keown Ruud van Nistelrooy incident
yes.
at United. And the first thing he said after the game, he said, "Don't worry, I will talk to the press. Just go, just go to the dressing room. Don't worry about it. I will talk to everybody. I will get the heat for it." and he was talking. Patrick Vieira, when he got the red card in the semifinal against United. Also, the same thing happened. He stood by Patrick Vieira, and and he defended him after the game because people were like, he didn't get the red card. I'm sorry. He got in the fight with when Keane got the red card, and he was fighting with Keane. He should have tackled Giggs, and everybody was asking about it after the game. And Wenger always stood for it. He always defended his players. And you have this like 2 minutes where players are talking about. Emmanuel Petit is saying that I would climb Mount Everest if Arsene Wenger asked me. He said, even without oxygen. Then Patrick Vieira comes on and he said, when the manager stands up for you, you would defend him with anything you got.
Right.
And this is something that you would think Arteta would learn, but he doesn't. He comes out after a shameful performance where we did nothing, and he starts blaming the player. The first thing that he says, this wasn't good. We have to finish our chances. We have to do so and so. We have to do so and so. And you cannot say this. Just shut the fuck up. Attack Mike Dean. Yeah, do anything. Just say, I trust my players. This today wasn't good enough. We will improve on it. This is a process. Blah blah blah. Bite into the PR, but he's slowly starting to latch into his players, and this is not good. This is not going anywhere good.
Well,
This is
he have,
the truth.
George. So this group of players are now taking on 17th place Southampton. And George, I went on the believe it or not, I went on the .com and I saw absolutely no pictures of us in training. There is hardly a mention of the first team. The ladies are now adorning the opening screen.
Yeah,
George, you said that people would now start to use the stats because it's in their favor. And so said, so done, George. And even the club is is playing the game. They don't even talk about the players. It is significant, in my opinion. George.
Yeah, well, the thing that Ian says, and I completely disagree with him, that
Yeah.
you can't do that. Well, you can do that, and you can do it if your job is more important than the team's success.
Yes, there you go.
And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing that Arteta is prepared to throw all the players under the bus as long as it makes him look better. Whereas Arsene Wenger was the opposite way around. He would protect the players to make them look better at his expense. And you can do it, and you can do it because a large swathe of the fan base buy into the bullshit. They accept it.
And they still do, George.
And this, of course they do. You go on, you see it. You can't blame Arteta for Eddie missing. You can't blame Arteta for Partey playing shit. You can't blame Arteta for them not creating chances. It's the players because Arteta's telling them it's the players, and they want to keep believing in Arteta because they've bought into it. They've bought into the bullshit for 18 months now, and then they don't want to do a U-turn. So it can work, and it does work. It does work.
But honestly, George.
But he is absolutely right. He says you can't do it as far as the team goes. As far as the team's concerned, you cannot do that. As far as the fans are concerned and Mikel Arteta is concerned, or you can very much do it, and they will do it, and you'll see more and more of it. You'll see stories coming out how, we need more players, we need his players, we're going to do this in the summer, we're going to buy them, we're going to build this, we're going to strengthen that. Everything will be in the future. Everything will be about keeping the project theory alive and buying more time. We'll get more stories about how the young players and they're developing and how they're buying into Arteta's system. It's not them. It's not his players. It's the ones that we're left with. It's the dross that fucking Emery left him. It's the dross that Arsene left him. You'll see it's all just distractions to keep Arteta on this pedestal that they've built him on and the fans have put him on for absolutely no reason whatsoever. He's built this fucking pedestal with no foundations at all. And the fan base are buying into it. And until the fan base as a whole stop buying into it, it'll be rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Now, as for playing Southampton, they've been shocking this season. And, I wouldn't surprise if they turn us over, because we're worse than them. We're playing. Our underlying stats are shocking, and there's going to be no confidence. Who are going to play now? Who's going to play in midfield? Is he going to play fucking Granit Xhaka for another 90 minutes? I mean, fucking hell. He'd had 2 months off. He should have been coming on at the 70th minute.
Rather than starting and being there for 90 minutes.
In 90 minutes, he said, well, look, he made that. And then, it does my head in. He made a stupid tackle and got booked, which meant that he couldn't stop somebody running through.
The Spanish guy, whose name I forget.
Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it wasn't a stupid tackle. If you look at the fucking photos, it was an absolutely desperately had to be made tackle and yellow card that he got fucking booked for.
Yes, I saw the picture and I reposted it. I retweeted it.
I tell you what, if he hadn't fucking tackled him there, he'd have got fucking crucified for allowing him to fucking. And what could he do? He was gassed to fuck. He couldn't fucking chase him down. The guy had just come on. The guy had only come on fucking 5 minutes earlier. Yeah. It's absolute fucking madness. And the fan base buy into it. So what are we going to do? Are we going to play him again? Pair him with Thomas Partey, who had like a 50% game as good as the 4 out of 10 that he normally has. He were about a 2 out of 10. Nobody looks good.
George, we have to talk about it. Partey committed a schoolboy error for that second goal. With the throw-in, Tavares should have thrown it down the line, because when you're under the catch, you never throw it in field. You should throw it down the line. He throws it to him, thinking he's a big-time midfielder, and he fucking coughs it up. And that's what started, and that got Everton recovering the ball. But
what does he do?
I don't want to play the game. I don't want to even latch on to Partey. This is not a program about Partey. This is a program about Southampton.
No, but my Partey's so out of form. Xhaka's just come back. What's he going to do? Who's he going to play? Because Southampton have a tiny little midfield in reality.
Well, that's what I want to say.
I'm sure Ehab will tell us who and where they'll play in a minute or two. But they're not mugs in midfield. And midfield is where the game's controlled. And if we're hoping that a half-fit Xhaka and a half-decent Partey are going to match them up. I mean, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he probably could do with playing and his energy and calm on the ball. And sometimes he might look too calm, but surely he would be a better option. He can't even get in the fucking squad. Jesus. What's he done? Has he fucking good luck to Mesut Ozil on fucking text or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ehab.
Yeah.
Southampton they got a 4-0 hammering by Liverpool, which is par for the course. By the way, I saw a stat. I mean, that team has created 90 fucking chances. We're barely scratching 20 something. Christ almighty. But anyway. And but they've had 2 draws, Brighton, and then that draw against, is it Crystal Palace? I saw the game.
Yeah.
No, it's not Palace. Maupay's team. Maupay is the one who scored. And Maupay is Brighton. Who did they play last game? I saw it. But what I wanted to point out, I like this, you guys, y'all know I just got up. They're Ralph has them, and I can't pronounce his last name. He has them playing an aggressive game. He got some new players, but the tall black guy, Sassusulu, He's not playing. He got 2 yellow cards. And Romeo, again, a very hard tackling guy. He got another yellow card. He's not playing. So I
Oh,
think they're coming into this game kind of handicapped. What do you expect from them? But he's really got them playing a better brand than the Portuguese guy that was with them last year. Better brand of football.
yeah. Then actually, Southampton is a weird team. They have players that can, like beat anybody and can lose to anybody. They
Yes.
are not. I mean, you look at their team, and you have those players who could shine by themselves in certain situations. Like Romeo is a very good center midfielder. He's a very good CDM. He's a
Yes.
big guy. He's a good tackler. He's quick. He's strong. He predicts everything. He's always giving us problems.
But he's not
Uh,
playing, George. He's not playing. He's not playing. He has two
yeah, I
yellows.
know.
Yeah.
There's World Prowse, who
He's a threat.
England is in love with. He's a good central midfielder. You cannot say anything about him. He's as good as Party, I'd say, at least.
Maybe better.
Even better. And they got that guy Armstrong, who's a young attacking midfielder.
Yes.
And he could score. The kid could have a highlight every day, any day of the week. And the thing is, they could all of those could have a bad game at the same time easily. They
Yes.
are not they are not consistent at all. Like even look at their wings and their scorers. They don't have Danny Ings, but they have Shane Long, who's always
They.
giving trouble.
Yeah.
If you have some extra money lying around, just bet on Shane Long scoring tomorrow, uh, because it's the odds are much higher than anything else. And they have Theo Walcott. They have the new guy that they've signed from Holland, this Elianusi, and those are good players. They have Redmond, who's always giving us
Yes.
trouble.
Yes. Redmond is playing. Yes. He's playing
Yeah,
well.
and they could easily give us trouble. The thing is, if we give them the confidence, if we don't score early or press them early, they're gonna have the confidence to attack by themselves. And this is the only thing where I see it turned. But this is the kind of team that Arteta feasts on. This is the kind of team that Arteta beats and keeps the process going.
Yes.
Uh, it's like Norwich, it's like Newcastle, the teams that are that they could easily be beaten if you press them with the big Arsenal badge. We are the Arsenal. We're gonna press you. We are going to scare you. And then now they have the worst defense with the two really bad defenders, and I don't think they are really healthy with Charlie Adams and what's the other name? Bidarik.
Yeah, but he's not even. They got some young dudes that they signed. Their names are
Oh yeah,
not. They're not household names, but they have improved the defense to one guy in central midfield and another one as central midfielder. The one who does the long throws, Sassalu. I think they can't sign him as Holland.
he's not
He's
he's not playing.
aggressive and he got a second yellow. But
Yeah.
George, Ehab is right. This is the kind of team that Arteta feast on, and he cannot afford to lose. I mean, he's probably running. Well, I saw online that he has them training and they are really gassed, after training. So he's probably choreographing every move, identifying who is the weak link at Southampton, and you know they say he's the caption to the picture was he's focusing on playing on from the back and creating chances. So George, we should be a better prepared team at home, don't you think?
Yeah, it's the same story. We should beat them. We've got better players right across the board. But nobody can be confident. And as I keep saying, the underlying stats are terrible, no better than theirs. Once things start going against you, it's very difficult to turn it around. We've just got to hope that the home advantage, what we'll do is we'll probably go at them hell for leather for the first 20 minutes like we've done recently. If we score, we're laughing. if we don't score, we're in trouble because our central midfielders will be gassed.
And he does like playing the two. I'm sure George he won't want to play Lakongo and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. For some reason, he has no faith in him, even though he was the man of the match against Watford. So he has to put either Partey or Xhaka with one of the younger ones.
Yeah, or play them both together again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably what I would do. You know, they are our best two midfield players. They should be able to complement each other, but you can say that, you know, right through the team. Every player should be doing better. I mean, what the hell's happened to Pepe? Fuck's sake. You can't get a fucking kick of the ball. You mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I've never been a fan of Pepe. He's never lived up to his price tag, but it doesn't mean he's not better than what we're fucking seeing.
But Georgia and I spoke about this. I mean, Pepe, if he didn't start him, Pepe should have been coming on when he took off Saka.
Is Smith Rowe fit?
That's what I have no idea. But as I said, I went online and they're like they have put an embargo on any news on the first team. We're gonna have the presser this morning, so we might hear something. But Ehab, what do you expect? I mean, what kind of team are you expecting? Are you expecting much of the same? As George said, we don't know if Smith Rowe is any fitter. Saka, he had a clash of knees. It was it's a kind of clash of knees that even now I am hurting because I know, you know, right on the not on the patella exactly, but right next to it, and God, it hurts. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know. Actually, there's something about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He's been playing well whenever he comes in this season. He's played well. He was, I think, man of the match twice this season, or once, and one time he came in late and he played really well. And we've said this a few months ago. Our best midfield is Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Xhaka. You know, it's whatever money we spent on midfield, we've wasted. So this has to be tried. I know if the manager knows what he's talking about, he has to at least consider this. This is a great idea. This should be a great team. You have a combo between them where one of them is mobile and quick and is good on the defense and offense. He's a good passer, and the other one is an anchor who's right there, who's gonna protect everybody. Like the yellow card that Xhaka got against Everton. Nobody talks about how Xhaka just reached, just followed the winger, just chased him down to the left side where the left back, who's Nuno or Kieran Tierney,
yes,
was supposed to be there. He got there first. He was right in front of the guy, and this is a skilled, quick winger. That's why he had to make the tackle. And Xhaka is always going to do that. He's always going to cover for his players. He's going to cover for the rest of the team. He's the guy that you need. You make a mistake, mistakes don't need to be fatal. You don't need to make a mistake and the game and it's over. They score. There has to be somebody who covers up for the players, and this is what Xhaka has been doing. And to have him as an anchor and have somebody like Maitland-Niles in front of him is a great midfield that I'm disgusted actually that we haven't tried yet. And he should play these two if he wants to play. And if Emmitt Smith Rowe is fit, he's the shoe-in because he's been the guy who's been carrying us pretty much. I honestly don't care about the rest. He's gonna play the same players who's been playing badly for the past few weeks. And
what about Pepe? I mean, we spent £72 million on that player.
Yeah,
he's out of favor. We don't even bring him on. If we want to sell him, as somebody said, how are you going to convince the rest of the market that this guy is worth even £20 million if you don't play him? I mean, Wenger played Sanchez when he was going to sell him. We knew he wanted to get rid of him, but he kept playing him. I remember George was beside himself at the time, but we knew he wanted to get rid of him. But this guy He wants players that obviously he doesn't like. They can give something to the team, and he doesn't even play them. How
We
do you
said
expect any management anywhere is going to fork up big money for somebody you don't even play?
this is what he's doing. This is what Arteta's doing. He's bringing down the value of everyone. And we've said last season when Pepe had that meaningless run at the end of the season, and he scored like 7 goals and had 5 assists. And we talked about it. We said, I think they should sell Pepe now. Well,
Yes.
and everybody was like, no, all these people with Pepe as an avatar on Twitter got crazy. And this is what we should have done. If you sold Pepe back then, he would have brought in 45 million.
That's right.
And today, I mean, look at Leeds got Rafinha for 30 million, 28 million pounds, and he's nowhere near Rafinha. And I think he's older than Rafinha too. And
He is.
yeah,
Rafinha
yeah,
is a kid.
yeah, and how much you gonna sell him for? When somebody like Rafinha for 28 million is playing that well, how much you gonna sell him for? And
Rafinha is top scorer for Leeds the last time I checked. George, who is Arteta? You know somebody's got to pay the price. The last I was not surprised against Everton that he benched Auba. I know that they justify it because he has a game today, but I was not surprised. The entire Twitter verse was like, get rid of Auba. Play Lacazette, who stunk the place up. I'm sorry. George, you made the point in this program that this thing with Lacazette dropping back into midfield, he was almost totally absent from the box, and he stank the place up. So who's gonna take the bullet for Arteta this time around? Because that is the kind of game we should be playing. Because that really interests me. Unless
Well,
maybe it doesn't interest anybody else.
All I know is it won't be Saka and it won't be Smith Rowe. They won't get the blame.
Right.
But he's prepared to throw anybody else under the bus. It's just, I mean, going back to what we've just been talking about, Pepe, 72 million. What's he worth now? 20 million if we get it. Partey, 45 million, 50 million. What's he worth? Fuck off.
15 million, maybe 20.
Yeah. Lacazette, how much do we pay for him? He was going on
he's
free.
on a free. He's leaving on a free.
Yeah. Aubameyang, 50 fucking million. You couldn't give him away. You couldn't literally, because of his wages, you couldn't give him away. Every single player in the squad is worth considerably less than we bought them for. Everyone. The only players that are worth more are the ones that have come through the academy that we haven't paid for. And Saka's not worth as much today as he was last summer.
Yeah, because he hasn't had a he hasn't had an outstanding season to date. I don't know how many goals has he scored, which, by the way, is what puts a premium on your value.
Yeah, I mean, last summer they were talking about him. What if Manchester City come in for him, and would we sell him for 100 million? You won't hear any talk like that now, will you?
Nope.
No, you never hear it. Saka's for sale. What are we going to get for him? 30 million, 40 million at best. It's not got any worse, but because of the way the team's playing, they all look worse, and they've all gone down in value. We keep hearing that we have the sixth or the fifth most expensive squad in world football.
Yes, and I saw that stat.
That was what we paid for them. But if you added up the total value now, it would be nowhere near fifth or sixth. Nowhere near fifth or sixth. The squad is worth a fraction of what we paid for it. And that's a problem, because who do you sell to do a rebuild? The only players that you can sell are Smith Rowe and fucking Saka.
And maybe Ramsdale, who we paid 26 million, and I think.
Oh my God, you couldn't contemplate selling him, could
right.
you?
He's our player of the month, 2 successive months. So he's like the little boy at the dike, George. He's the one who's holding back the flood of goals.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, but they'll tell you that the defense has improved. It's fucking. It's madness. How can he be player of the month if the defence has improved?
Right?
Why?
I mean, great
It's
goalkeeper,
I
George.
tell you what, everybody's depressed and everybody's fed up, and that's actually worse than what people think it is, in my opinion.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah,
Wha- Do you agree with that? It's worse than it
it's
actually
worse.
looks.
It's worse, and it's gonna. I don't know if West Ham show up to play in a couple of games, he
Yeah,
might
after
get
this. Well,
he
after
might
this.
get sacked after that. You have no idea. Y- Everything that we're weak at, West Ham are good at. You know, and this is why I don't wanna preview the
I
West
mean,
Ham.
tell people, Joe, and you explain what you mean by that.
But West Ham have three big mobile midfielders,
Yes.
and they control the midfield against City. Can you imagine that?
Jesus.
They had the control of the if City was attacking and they had a pass outlet, they kept the ball and pushed City back. It was a real football game. People beat City, but the way they beat City is they defend and rely on the counter. They just send a long ball down the sides and somebody chases it, and now we are in City's half. That's it. This is how people beat City. But they West Ham had the mid. They had when they outlet the ball to the midfield, they had the ball in midfield, and they did control the game there. They did control the game against Chelsea, the midfield, and now they are gonna come and play against Chaka, who's been out for 2 months, and Party, who's done nothing. And this is number one. They're gonna have control of the game. Number two is they play two or three defenders, and they're big defenders, and they don't allow you to sneak on the wings because the left wing back and right wing back are tracking back all the time, and they don't bump forward at the same time. So we cannot have those times when we carry the ball through Saka or through Tomiyasu and he passes to Saka or KT comes down the left. Now the, we are not going to be efficient on attack. So if we throw more people, like if we ask KT to Tierney to go faster or to go deeper and go forward more, like we do with Tavares, what's going to happen is they don't their wingers are always ready to go.
And they're
Once
they're they're intent on setting Antonio loose at every opportunity. And on a one-on-one basis, there's nobody in the league that can go up against him one-on-one. I have
if
seen
you
nobody contain him one-on-one.
if you attack them, you're gonna have Ben Rahma, who's a really quick, skilled winger, and Antonio just running down the field, and you have to catch up to them. And there's no way anything we do they're already ready for unless they have a shocking game. If they have a shocking game, we might get a draw. But
Okay.
if this is exactly the bet against us, and
So what you're
as
saying is that we
it
don't.
is worse, but we haven't been exposed. We lost to Liverpool 5-4-0. We conceded 14 goals against the top four, which is United, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Probably going to end up the top four in the division. But we conceded 14 goals against them, and we've scored two. Now, this is us. We gotten excuses because it's Liverpool, it's Manchester City. This is the excuses we've gotten. We're supposed to lose to Liverpool. We're supposed to lose to City. We're supposed to lose to Chelsea. But it's not that. It's we lost. I mean, City could have scored 10, and they ended up with five. Liverpool could have scored six or seven, and they ended up with four. And we've been bailed out by this. People don't look at it, but we've lost
We've been
to
bailed out by
Everton.
Ramsdale. We've been bailed out by Ramsdale and with the little
Yeah,
teams.
exactly. You've seen Everton, and people don't understand. We created nothing. People are crying about the last chance that Aubameyang missed. Is this the kind of football do you want to play? A 400 million pound team, and you're relying to nick a game, to nick a draw at the 95th minute, and if the guy doesn't save your ass, then he's washed and he has to go. This is not the football you need to play. You need to create against a team like Everton. You need to create 17, 18 chances. We've created 18 chances all season.
That's exactly the point.
Yeah,
Oh,
you need to
barely
create.
scratching 20.
Yeah, you need to create 18 against somebody like Everton at home. The best defender was subbed out on the 30th minute, Yerry Mina,
Yes,
and
yes,
and
yes. I was like, okay, here we go. We can
uh,
throw it
uh,
up in the air.
yeah, the best player left before the season started, and they haven't replaced him. Sigurdsson is not playing, and still they play the central midfielder who's Ducore, who I've wanted since he was in Watford. I wanted us to buy him. And he's a center midfielder. He used him as an attacking midfielder, and he
Yes,
destroyed us. He actually created the two goals that did not count.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
yeah,
He brought the ball forward into the penalty area. Yes,
and this is bad. I mean, you look at Everton. If Mike Dean didn't have VAR, this is 4 or 5-1. This is it. And I don't know, man. It's worse than people realize. But they're like, oh, you're supposed to lose to Liverpool. Well, tell that to West Ham or tell that to Leeds United or any of the teams who held Liverpool back, or any of the teams who held Chelsea back, or any of the teams who held City back. Red Bulls from Leipzig just beat City in the Champions League.
yes.
And yeah, and it's not supposed to be that way. Okay, you're supposed to lose, but not 5-0. That could have been 10.
George, let's wrap this
Yes.
up. We're supposed to win this game.
Yeah,
I
we will.
don't see an option here. Not even a
We
draw.
will.
We're supposed to win. Go ahead, George.
We will win it.
And Ehab,
Yeah, we will win the game. I think 2-0.
thank you guys. I think we have Sunderland in one of the cups before we play West Ham. I didn't look this up, but I
We'll
think
beat them as well. We'll put the first team out against them. We'll beat them.
great Sunderland. By the way, our friend Vengarola doesn't like us taking any liberties with Sunderland. Vengarola, you're a great second team, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
George, and the listeners. I'm not sure I will be able to do a match review. A great friend of mine died, and his funeral is exactly the time of the match tomorrow.
Sorry to hear that.
And I don't know if these. I don't know if this game is going to be on NBCSN. If it's not on NBSN, I can't get it recorded. So
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
giving notice. Huh?
It doesn't matter whether you've watched the game or not.
No, I don't come here unprepared, guys. I might stumble, but I don't come here unprepared. So it's touch and go about the review. I really have to go pay my respect to that friend. George, it goes back to that whole thing about underlying metrics. I mean, the guy was ill and he just went to bed and never woke up.
Wow, man.
So but people don't, our friend, they don't care about underlying metrics until it suits them. Well, as we said, the message that the theme that came out of you guys is that it's worse than it looks. The metrics are horrible. And the guy called the Crab, Scott Willis, did a big piece, and I recommend it to everyone. And he says, well, at the end he said, I'm not really Arteta in. But he said the key performance indicators are worse over 3 years. Worse, George. Horrible. Attacking, defending, even that so-called reliance on you. I commend that to all the listeners here. Because he's not the kind of guy that goes on a rampage like me and George. Please look out for Shadguna's, really considered preview. It's when you have to write, and I thought about this, when you have to write, you think long and hard. We can say any bullshit we want here. So please, at least for my blog, look out for Shadguna's preview a little later. Thank you very much, guys. Hopefully we can do a match review, but I did give a little warning out. And remember to like and subscribe. I think we have a different kind of opinion. We're not just running with the crowd, putting out stats because it suits us. I think we tend to have to identify certain trends long before everybody else. But maybe you disagree. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. See you later.